So, what really makes a great ad? Is it all about having a massive budget, or is it something else, something about the message itself? Today, we're going to dive into that classic advertising debate, money versus message, to figure out what truly makes an impact.
I mean, you see it all the time, right? These huge brands spending millions, and it's so easy to just assume that's the only way to succeed. But is that really the whole story? Well, today we're here to challenge that exact idea. And here's the big reveal, straight from the research. It's not really about how much money you throw at a campaign. It's about what you're saying and how you're saying it. A really powerful message will always outperform a giant budget that's tied to a weak one. So how do we know this? Well, it all starts with understanding how advertisers even measure their campaigns in the first place. Okay, let's just bust this myth wide open. Sure, a big budget gets your ad seen, absolutely. But it doesn't guarantee it'll be felt. Think about it. If the message doesn't connect, if it doesn't resonate with you on some level, then all that spending is pretty much for nothing. It's the quality of the message, not the quantity of the cash, that really drives results. Now, to really get a grip on this, we've got to break down two key metrics that get confused all the time: impressions and reach. They might sound kind of similar, but the difference between them is absolutely crucial for understanding why a great message is worth so much more than a big budget. So first up, we've got impressions. This is basically just the raw number of times your ad gets shown. A banner ad loading on a website, a commercial that plays on TV, each one counts as one impression. But notice that keyword here, displayed. That doesn't mean anyone actually saw it, let alone paid any attention to it. And this is a perfect way to think about it. Picture yourself rushing through an airport. There are screens everywhere, ads just scrolling by. Technically, those ads are racking up thousands and thousands of impressions. But how many are you actually watching? Probably zero. Most of them are just background noise. And that's the huge weakness of only looking at impressions. And that brings us to the metric that is so much more valuable: reach. See, this isn't just about an ad being displayed. This is about actual human attention. Reach measures the unique number of people who genuinely saw your ad, who heard it, who actually processed it. This is the number that brands really care about. So let's just put them side by side to make it crystal clear. Impressions are all about the quantity of displays, just throwing it out there and hoping something sticks. But reach is about the quality of viewership, actually connecting with real people. You could have a million impressions, but a tiny reach if nobody's paying attention. The real goal is always to maximize that true reach. But it gets even deeper than that. These two metrics we just talked about, impressions and reach, they actually combine to reveal another really crucial piece of the puzzle. The formula itself is actually pretty simple. You just take your total number of impressions and you divide it by your total reach. And what you get is something called ad frequency. So what does ad frequency tell us? It's the average number of times a single person laid eyes on your ad. And marketers, well, they kind of obsess over this because there's a real sweet spot. They say a person needs to see a message a few times for it to really sink in. But show it too many times, and you get what's called ad fatigue. People just get annoyed and start to actively ignore you. It's a really delicate balance. But beyond all of these numbers, beyond impressions, reach, and frequency, the ultimate goal, the true holy grail of advertising, is something that you just can't buy, no matter how big your budget is. It's the kind of advertising that starts to spread all by itself. And here they are: viral reach and word of mouth. This is what happens when your message is so good or so funny or so compelling that people want to share it. They become your advertisers, sending it to their friends, talking about your brand at the dinner table. This is the absolute dream scenario. And why is this the holy grail? Well, it comes down to two incredibly powerful reasons. First, it's free. I mean, people are doing your marketing for you. But the second reason is way more important. It comes with a built-in endorsement. You see, a recommendation from a friend is infinitely more powerful and trustworthy than any ad from some faceless company could ever be. So all of this, the great message, the viral reach, it all leads to the single most important asset a brand can possibly have. It's the foundation that all future success is built on, and it's something that has to be earned. You can never, ever buy it. Just look at how this chain reaction works. When your message is strong enough to go viral and spark that genuine word-of-mouth conversation, you start to build something incredibly valuable and durable: deep brand trust. And that trust becomes the rock-solid foundation for everything else your brand does from that point on.
And this is why it's such a game changer. Once an audience trusts you, they're not just customers anymore, they're fans. They become so much more receptive to your future ads. Your messages cut through all the noise because they're coming from a source people actually believe in. Trust is the ultimate multiplier for every single marketing dollar you spend down the road.
So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. Think about the brands you're really loyal to, the ones you'd recommend to a friend. Did they just buy your loyalty with endless repetitive ads, or did they earn it? Chances are it was earned with a powerful message, a product you believe in, or a recommendation you trusted. And that is the real secret to great advertising.